Good morning, church, and welcome back to our last day, day 5, in our standing with Christ. And I hope that God was able to speak to us today like he did for me, to realize that we're in a battle and to realize where our help comes from, that we get strength from God, and to understand that he's there for us, he protects us, and he gives us weapons of war. I'm going to close off this week with just a short understanding from our Bible, and to know that in the early days of the Israelite army that God called them to battle. And it was every battle that they were just winning. They would follow God's direction. They would follow where he wanted them to go. And he was just leading them to victory after victory after victory. They would march into a city and they would win each and every time. And it wasn't so long that their reputation preceded them, and the people that they were coming against, the enemies of God, that they would join forces together and they would even try to defeat the Israelite army that way. And even when they joined together, they weren't able to defeat the armies of God. There was one army in particular, the Gibeonite army, and they would take a different approach. They dressed themselves as if they were all beat up, as if they were weary. They even brought in food that was rotted. And they had old wineskins, and they made up this incredible story that they had come from a long way, that they were very weak people, and they just wanted peace with the Israelites. And they signed a peace treaty because they were able to deceive the armies of God. You see, what happened is that the Israelites didn't go in prayer. They didn't seek spiritual direction, but they saw with their own eyes and they believe the deceitfulness of these people. When I think about that, I think about how deceitful that the devil can be to the church sometimes. And sometimes we just look with our own eyes. Sometimes we hear with our own ears, and we make determinations for ourselves that God doesn't want us to have. So we have to understand that we have to go before the Lord in prayer. We have to have spiritual eyes that are able to see. And I see this happening to people of God. I see the devil able to trick missionaries sometimes. The devil's able to trick people in churches, and they're seeing things that aren't really there. And they think, well, I don't need the church, or I don't need a pastor, or I don't need to pray every day. I don't need to pay tithes. I don't need to do these things, because they're being deceived in their minds. Maybe somebody hurt them in the church, and they look with their emotions instead of looking with their spiritual eyes and on where this attack is coming from. You see, church, we have to look towards God. We have to let him lead us in everything and not be deceived by the enemy, because God has equipped us to win this war, but we need to be led by God. So let's think about that in our lives right now. Is there something that's troubling you? Is there something that's tripping you up? Is there something that maybe you're starting to believe that goes against the Word of God? Is there something that's making you question the standards that you live for? We have to understand that not to be deceived by the devil, but to get into his Word, to be re-strengthened by his Word, to receive the power. Let God fill you with his Spirit. Let him lead you every day. I thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope that this sticks with us. I know it's stuck with me. I hope God strengthens us every day, and I know I'm looking forward to a great service with you this Sunday. Thank you so much, and I'm going to see you soon.